absolutely, yeah, yeah. So that summer, 1980, a League of Ireland representative side travelled to Argentina to play a number of games against both one game against the Argentina national team, who were the world champions at the time, and a number of representative sides in Argentina. Um, I suppose first of all, something like that it's just it's alien to me, Joe. A League of Ireland representative side traveling to Argentina to play these representative matches. That must have been an incredible experience for someone like yourself.
It was unreal. I mean, actually, the coach or the main manager at the time was Tommy Jackson. He was the Waterford manager at
Mm,
the time. He was given the job. He took the job to look after us and pick the team, and he brought his crew around him, his training crew. Um, we left. I think it was probably early May, whatever, that year we flew over. And now it was actually the tour was supposed to be. I think it was 5 games in 4 weeks, so a month in Argentina.
yeah,
Uh, so we all assembled and headed off. You had a very strong contingent from Dundalk. Uh, you had Shamrock Rovers, Bears, Dundalk, Athlone, Limerick. Generally, they made up most of the squad.
yeah,
I think it was around probably 24 guys went travelling the trip with all the FAI paparazzi as well, of course, all
yeah, yeah.
the green jackets we call. But the game we stayed in Buenos Aires. Our first stop was Buenos Aires. We that first game was against I think it was against the national squad in River
Mm,
Plate Stadium. Um, so of the squad of maybe 24, whatever of our playing squad was around, I think it was probably 16 of us were in the squad for that night of the match. We arrived in the course of the bus with police, cavalcade and all the rest, and we were, I think it was around 65,000 people there in the River Plate to see
yeah,
us. Um, of the Limerick team, we had four of us in Limerick going. It was Johnny Walsh, travelling the trip, Pat Nolan,
yeah,
um, Gary Humes, and myself. And Pat and Johnny were in the first 11, and Gary and myself were on the bench. Um, so the game proceeded, but it was actually Maradona. Diego Maradona was 18 years at the time, I think.
yeah.
No,
19, I think. Yeah, yeah,
19 time. Yeah, it was one of the first games for Argentina,
yeah,
I think. Um, and it was what expected. What it was again to be the tension.
yeah.
It was passionate. The crowd were passionate. It was wonderful. And the only goal in the game was scored by Diego Maradona.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah incredible to. I said it's very tough to frame the question in any other way other than talk about Maradona. Was there, at that age, was there a big buzz about him? Did you think you were seeing something special there?
Well, absolutely. I think
Yeah,
we had a translator with us on the trip, a local person from Argentina, and translated a lot of the press before the match. And it was all Diego Maradona at the talk. We saw it, we knew of him, but it was actually in our presence when we were there in
yeah,
Argentina. Straight away, the level of expectation from him and the coverage of the press was huge. So we actually we expected a lot from him, and he actually delivered.
yeah,
He was incredibly. I mean, for a small person in stature, I mean, his balance, his speed, he was just a joy to watch. Really,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It must have been just absolutely
it's
incredible. The
and Jamie, you think of all the League of Ireland squad, all part timers again. We're talking about
exactly.
a
Yeah,
full pro team, and I think there's a lot of disillusionment with the team as well when they travel to Lansdowne Road 3 weeks later and play the Irish international team.
mm,
I think actually the crowd expected to have the Irish international because in the Tana in the PA system in the stadium at the time when the players were being called out numbers like
yeah,
Tommy McConville, afterwards was mentioned 12 internationals, so it was all kind of built up. Is that the players, who had international caps, whatever. Okay, now they could have been for I mean, what are they, interleague caps if there's such
yeah,
a thing. But
yeah.
the crowd certainly thought this was actually the Irish international team. I thought at the time,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
all the players that were there thought at the time. But I have
yeah.
a funny story, I have a light side to the story as well. So
Okay.
on the bench, we went into the change room at half time. I think it was 1-0, possibly 1-0 half time, I think.
Mm,
And we all went in. There was a team talk for the players, and we all went back out. And we sat in the bench. The other three other guys with me, or whoever, we were all sitting down, and the game proceeded in the second half. And then, with around 15 or 20 minutes to go, Tommy Jackson tipped Gary Humes on side being, said, Gary, take off your tracksuit there, please, and just warm up there down the sideline. You're going to go on. We're taking off Mike Madigan there. So you could be able to go in, okay, and whisper, do this, take that pull back, take him wide, give him all the advice what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And Gary went up and sprinted up and down, and he pulled a hamstring.
Oh no.
And Gary looked at me and he said to me, he's only 5 yards from me, Brendan, I think my hamstring's gone. Next thing, the physio, which was actually was it Mick Byrne, the same guy who used to do the pro with the national team. The Mick Smith was the Irish team. Yeah. Mick there went over and Gary, your hamstring's gone. So Gary hobbled over, I gave him a hand in, and he sat alongside me again with his leg on an ice pack. And that was Gary's. Unfortunately, to this day, we actually joke about Gary's famous warm-ups in the River Plate Stadium.
Yeah. You never know the butterfly effect of history. What could have happened if he got in the pitch that day? Maradona may not have. Who knows?
Absolutely,
what could have happened. What was the style of play playing in these games against Argentina compared to the League of Ireland? Was it different?
It was, I suppose, like anything else too. And when you got volume and noise and crowd and all, and I mean, in fairness, games in the League of Ireland before, I mean, the League of Ireland would have 20,000 people in Flower Lodge years ago, and I mean, obviously the game has petered away as people watch everything now as Premiership, but the crowd never stop. They're playing their drums, they're making noise, they're blowing their whistles. This constant, it's like a fanfare in the background. And then you got football in the pitch in the middle, right? But it's noise. It's the crowd never stop. It's amazing. It's actually great. And actually, I mean, one thing from the change from players in League of Ireland going to play in big stadiums, like when we played the Barnabas Stadium, Real Madrid, the noise levels in stadiums like that, it's incredible. I mean, you cannot talk to players. I mean, generally, if you play a League of Ireland match, we used to. Generally, you could hear players, your partner, Joe Mandy, your fullback, Pat Nolan, your midfielders, so you could talk to them, your goalkeeper, Kevin Fitzpatrick, or whoever was playing with you. But then those games and the big stadiums, it's literally sign language you have to make. You know what I mean? Really, it's just the noise is incredible.
Yeah, just the calling. Yeah.
I have an interesting story about our trip to Argentina as well. About we played that game and there was 1-0 and there was